Hey, y'all, listen. Okay, Diva's in the building. Okay, I'm glad y'all spending time with me. Listen, it's Saturday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. Tonight's title is called Sick People. Sick People, okay? Sick people. We got this coach that was arrested because he literally knocked out a 12-year-old. And then he tried to pretend like he didn't mean it. He didn't do that, this, that, and the other. He was trying to show the kid something. Sir, stop. I don't know what's going on with these teachers and coaches lately or with the world, period. But a lot of sick, crazy things are happening, and it's extremely sad. So we're going to talk about this coach knocking out a 12-year-old football player. We're going to talk about it. Then, the NYPD. And maybe it's not just the NYPD. Maybe it's cops all together. But the NYPD seem to be wilding out. So an NYPD officer got busted because he was in a public bathroom doing some things. I'll just put it like that. We'll get more into it when the story comes. He got fired. And the obsession that people have with sex is crazy to me. It's absolutely insane. But we're going to talk about it. Then our last story is this janitor who had a foot fetish, was working in a nursing home. You heard me, people, a nursing home. And he violated a 69-year-old resident of the nursing home. You have really got to be sick in the head to just violate anybody, period. But to me, you even sicker when you violating somebody that's so vulnerable. They're in a nursing home and they're 69 years old. Are you like, you're crazy? But the title is called Sick People. I'm glad I got some people hanging out with me tonight. And if we have time, it depends. I might have time, I might not. I'm going to throw in this bonus story. Again, it has to do with the NYPD. A woman claimed her supervisor was violating her over and over and over and over and over again. And what type of sick puppy are you that you forcing somebody to have relations with you? And you the cop. You supposed to be helping take the bad guys off the street, and you a bad guy with a badge. It don't get no worse than that. But he got fired. She got a lawsuit. And we're going to see how this lawsuit turns out. I ain't even going to hold us up. It's Saturday. Y'all might have stuff to do, but I'm glad y'all ain't taking a moment to hang out with the diva. So y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Saturday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called Sick People. We got a coach got arrested because he knocked out a 12-year-old. And somebody, I don't condone violence, but somebody should knock his butt out in that jail. We got the NYPD scandal. We got the janitor getting 99 years behind bars. We're going to talk about it. Let me bring the people on in the building. Hold on now. Hey, girlfriend.
Hi, Diva. Choo choo.
Choo choo. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Listen, it's us tonight, okay? We on this train. I'm glad you joined me. We're going to talk about this stuff. So let's talk about first this. Let me do this, coach. I hope I saved. Let me see. I hope I have the video here. I may have to go back to the coach because I had a video and I had an article, or maybe I could show the video, and then maybe I'll come back into the article. So we'll do the coach first, and then you know what? No, because it's going to take me a minute to pull that article back up. Let me go ahead and talk about this janitor, the janitor that was hit with 99-year sentence. Okay, I hope y'all can still hear me. It looked like I froze a little bit. So let me share screen.
We hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. Let's see if I could share this screen. And let's do this janitor. Hey, Julius.
Hey, y'all, hit the like button for the diva because we're pulling out the train.
All right, so I'll read it as it starts to queue up here. But a Perth court janitor hit with 99-year sentence over sick fetish antics after assaulting elderly woman as he rubbed lotion on her feet. A perversion for feet landed a janitor in prison. Let's pause that. An ex-janitor has been slapped with a 99-year sentence after assaulting a patient in an old folks' home. Bobby Mandel Bester, who formerly worked as a custodian in a nursing home, SA'd one of the residents after he was able to get a hold of her feet. And that is him, and it cost him 99 years. It took police 6 years to arrest the 47-year-old foot fetish, per local news affiliate. WDSU. He was arrested in February 2024. Bester had apparently acknowledged having a foot fetish when questioned by the police, but denied the assault accusations. I hate when it does that. Hold on one second. But then, where did it go? He was but against him. Bester apparently acknowledged having a foot fetish when questioned by the police, but denied the assault accusations against him. Like, hold on one second, guys. Let me let somebody else in the building. Through a Louisiana jury, he was found guilty and now faces a sentence of 25 to 99 years in prison. The incident took place in a Robert Boulevard, Louisiana nursing home. The 69-year-old unnamed resident told police that Bester had entered her room while she was on her bed, creeping in under the guise of janitorial duties, according to the Louisiana District Attorney Colin Sims. Bester then commented about one of the residents' socks having fallen off her foot, trial testimony revealed. He offered to put the sock back on her foot. Then he closed the blinds and began rubbing her feet with lotion. Bester then forced the woman's feet against his genitals in a shocking act of aggression. According to the victim, when steps were heard outside the door, Bester would stop and wait until they were gone before continuing. Bester had been on the run for nearly 6 years before he was finally caught and charged in February of last year. During the trial, prosecutors called on another woman who testified that Bester had terrorized her with foot-related phone calls and messages. He said, "Can I pleasure your feet? Or can I pleasure myself on your feet? I know you got sexy feet. Can I just suck on it or something?" Bester said in one call, according to the woman. She also said that on another occasion, Bester told her over the phone, "I like that pink toenail polish you have on." She had been wearing open-toe shoes and pink toenail polish that same day. The woman became worried that Bester had been following her and reported him to the authorities. During his trial, the jury needed only 2 hours of deliberation to find the foot-obsessed culprit guilty. Bester's sentence has been scheduled for October the 23rd, and he is facing a 99-year prison sentence. Foot fetish related assaults. Bester has not been the only foot fetish related assault reported this year. In June 2025, Dexter Betancourt, who has a history of offenses, approached a woman on a subway platform, complimented her toes, tries to kiss her feet, and exposed himself to her, per the New York Post. He was released without bail under supervised conditions. In January 2025, another person who worked for the Providence Public Schools faced multiple accusations of unwanted foot touching, according to the local news affiliate. Alleged is awaiting sentencing, but lost his appeal in July 2025. Oh my God. Listen, people, he could face up to 99 years in prison. It's a shame that he did this to someone in a nursing home. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Um, that's a sick something. Okay, I can't believe in this day and age you would go to the nursing home and think any of this is okay. I really don't understand where these people coming from. Lord, if this is what we got to deal with, I'm gonna pray for all of us. This is sick.
Thank you, in my opinion. Savannah, your thoughts?
Hey Diva, hey panel, hey chat. I'm within my opinion. As you were reading, I couldn't close my mouth as to how disgusting this story is. But my daughter has told me that this is the new corn fetish of
Mm.
feet. That there is websites and OnlyFans and all this where you where men mainly tell you to do things with your feet and they pay you for it could be squishing a banana, doing just gross. I don't know what the fetish is or what the the get off with, of it is, but there is a community out there that has this feet fetish, and unfortunately, this person slipped in and wasn't vetted correctly, and so I'm taking he abused of a senior in the nursing home.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness! Oh
Mm-hmm.
my heaven! That's even worse. That is even worse. They go in there and they are so vulnerable. They're basically like children as well. Their family brings them to these facilities, trusting that they're going to be taken care of. Um, and then for someone to go in and violate them in this type of way, it is absolutely it's sick. I don't even know where. So he deserves as much time because I'm pretty sure there's more victims out there than this
Mm-hmm.
one, the senior that he got caught doing this with. So, it's just, oh my goodness, this is what we come to.
Yeah, it's sad. Julius, your thoughts?
I think I can do that one.
Just sickening and sad to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're supposed to take care of these people, not harass them or mistreat them. Sickening.
Very sickening. It's just super sad. All right, we're gonna roll into our next story, and I'm gonna do this story with this coach that was arrested for knocking out, literally knocking out a 12-year-old. So let me see. I think we're here.
Arrest of that South Fulton football coach accused of sending one of his players to the hospital. Angelique Proctor broke the story, and she is here with what happened and what the charges that football coach is now facing. Angelique?
Well, good afternoon to you, Tom. This is a story that we have been covering since it happened Monday night. And what a major development this is that this coach is, in fact, being charged. That is what many people in this community, many people who were there Monday night said that they wanted to happen. Now, the coach claimed he was teaching a football technique, but witnesses and South Fulton police didn't buy that story. And that is why he is now under arrest. Take a look there. You should have his mugshot. He is Jonathan Sagers. And according to the South Fulton Public Safety Director, he was a volunteer with the Old National Park. He was coaching with the Old National Knights and is actually known in this community as Coach Dread. Sagers has been charged with cruelty to children, which is a felony, as well as misdemeanor battery after South Fulton police say he grabbed this 12-year-old player by his shoulder pads and threw him to the ground. Now, witnesses told us that Sager and the child went in argument about how the boy responded to a play right before this happened. Sager told police he was showing that player a technique, but police again didn't buy that. South Fulton's public safety director says detectives took their time in this case, and this case is based on the evidence.
Now, this part is not working. They're going to mention this, so it didn't work. So she's going to tell us what this person actually said.
Tom, do we not have that sound?
Yeah, Angelique, a bit of technical difficulties with the sound. What did Dr. Alexander say about the investigation here?
Well, he says that detectives were very methodical. They looked at video. They talked to everybody involved, including the coach, as well as the 12-year-old boy, and that they have some strong evidence in this case. And he said that this was, in fact, based on the facts of the case and not a lot of rumor mill. We had several people who were there who told us that they watched it, that they saw the argument between the coach and the boy, that they saw the coach take him to the ground. And the other thing that we learned today is that according to the arrest warrant, the coach apparently started taunting the 12-year-old boy once he was on the ground. And according to that arrest report, the boy was unconscious at that point. And as we have told you earlier in the week, nurses told coaches, call 911. A helicopter came in here and actually was able to get that young man to the hospital, the Arthur Blank Children's Hospital, a new facility in our area. And he somehow initially had no feeling in his legs, but came around and has been released and is now at home with his parents. But we did also learn that this particular coach, Coach Dredd, as he's known in these parts, had apparently been arrested by Atlanta police on August the 29th. And those were some pretty serious charges. Police pulled him over for a traffic stop, and he ended up with drug possession charges as well as possessing a firearm, and even got an obstruction charge because according to Atlanta police, he left his own car and ran away from the scene. So all of these things, though, the athletic director or the Dr. Cedric Alexander wanted to make sure that everybody knew they did, in fact, vet Coach Dredd, that he passed a background check in July. And these charges came up with APD in August. And of course, this incident with this 12-year-old player was just Monday night. But Dr. Cedric Alexander says this community should feel safe. These parents should let their kids come back out and enjoy youth league football because he says it is, in fact, safe.
So that was really my question, which you just cleared up. How does a person get exposed to coaching children when they have a record? But apparently that record didn't come out until a full 1 month after he was hired to be part of that coaching staff?
That is correct. In fact, the documents say that he had no criminal history prior to that July when they did the criminal background check. So he got these charges in August. And then this incident with this young boy was in September. A lot of parents, so were very concerned, wondering how on earth should he be coaching young people? But that is how that happened. That's the timeline that we have.
All right. And obviously this case, Angelique, will hinge on witness accounts that night into what happened. And the boy's parents were there, as you reported, when this story first broke.
Yeah, and apparently the fact that there was that argument, that really plays into this a lot because the coach was trying to show the boy something and the boy was sort of disputing what the coach was saying. And witnesses have told me that the coach responded by taking him to the ground in the midst of their dispute. And of course, Dr. Cedric Alexander was able to confirm that, yes, they were in a verbal altercation. So this is just the kind of thing that a lot of parents around here say they just do not want to see.
And real quick, you might have already mentioned it, but the condition of that boy this afternoon?
Well, we understand that he is recovering, and we know that he is at home with his parents. His father is the head football coach of this particular team, and his mother is a football manager. So his parents are very much involved. He's very well known. and very well loved around these parts.
All right. Good information. Angelique Proctor with the latest on the injury of that South Fulton boy, the football player, at the hands, police say anyway, of one of the assistant coaches out there. Angelique, thanks.
Horrific, just horrific. Sick people is our title. Let me just see. I had a little article here. Let me share maybe most of the same information. Miss Amy, the only thing I'm not sure is I know his parents are highly involved in the league also. I'm just not sure if his parents were there, but it sounded like they were, right? Either way, this is crazy. But see, violence, unfortunately, and I said it in a story last week or earlier this week, violence is unfortunately accepted in all of these little league programs and all of that. So this is where we end up. Coaches putting their hands on the people, which is crazy. Okay, so let me see. Let's see if I can pull this article up. It seems like it's having trouble pulling up my art. Oh wait, maybe not. Maybe not. Hold on. So I'll read it to you as I'm waiting for it to pull up. A South Fulton coach arrested after 12-year-old knocked out. Okay. Oh, it seems like, is it freezing up? Okay. So a youth football coach in South Fulton is facing felony and misdemeanor charges after police say he slammed a 12-year-old player to the ground during practice at Old National Park earlier this week. Coach charged. What we know, police now say the coach has been arrested. It keeps jumping back, my little article here. All right, it's just acting up, y'all. Let me see. Okay. So what we know now, police say the coach has been arrested for allegedly slamming a 12-year-old player to the ground during practice at Old National Park, knocking the child unconscious. According to an arrest warrant obtained by Fox, the coach, identified as Jonathan Richard Saggers, grabbed the boy by his shoulder pads and threw him down during an argument about a play. Witnesses told police the boy lost consciousness on the field. Saggers reportedly told officers he was demonstrating a football technique, but investigators said they did not believe his explanation. He is charged with felony cruelty to children and misdemeanor battery. The woman also states Saggers taunted the child after the incident. The boy was treated at the scene and is now recovering at home with his parents, authorities says. Records show Saggers was previously arrested by Atlanta police on August the 29th on separate charges, including drug possession, a gun offense, and obstruction of law enforcement. He is currently being held at the Fulton County Jail. What they're saying, Mr. Saggers, based on evidence that had been obtained during the investigation, that he had inflicted harm to this child, in which he was charged on a felony count of child endangerment and also for battery. The city's public safety director said, "We have witness statements and we have other evidence as well, too, even based on Mr. Saggers' statement of his interaction with the child, of course, and other witnesses who were there, and they were able to compile the information, the facts, and we are only move on facts here in South Fulton, but they gathered the facts as it came to them." Many in the football community said they were relieved by Saggers' arrest, calling it a sign that South Fulton police took the case seriously. South Fulton police investigating what's next. According to South Fulton police, Saggers passed a background check in late July prior to joining the football team as a volunteer coach. The warrants were taken out on Saggers in August. The investigation remains active and ongoing. One resident at the park said coaches should be mentors, not aggressors. Anybody that assaults a child in a park that is supposed to be a coach, yes, you should be arrested. This is just a sad, sick case. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So I'm gonna start off with these parents first because evidently you can't be too involved. That this is happening and you don't even know because the minute something blow up, the head coach should know about it immediately. So the fact that it blew up and then this boy was knocked out, the parents weren't too involved. The manager and the head coach, that's their titles. But none of them was managing or coaching at the time.
Mm.
My next thing is his name is Coach Dredd. Okay, I'd be asking him, why is they calling you Coach Dredd? Because there is power in the name that they give you.
Mm.
So he was Dredd coming after these kids. I'm not buying that this man didn't have a record until a month before he was arrested. I don't buy it. Because if he was this violent at a kid, he was
Mm.
way violent before then. And you're not telling me he didn't have a record. This is to cover their tracks. They're saying, oh, well, he didn't have a record until a month before. I'm
Mm.
not buying it. I'm not buying it. This child was literally knocked unconscious. To have a head trauma that causes that means that boy could have lost his life.
Mm-hmm.
You have your brain that's in your head. Players on the field that get hit are worried about problems with their brain. But then to have this man do it with a fist, and he's a grown man at that, that's the sad part. Now they should knock him out while he in the jail cell.
Mm. Woo, in my opinion, appreciate you. Savannah, your thoughts?
I agree completely with everything, in my opinion, said, because I was concerned about where the other adults were when this was occurring. Because if I understood it correctly, he taunted the child before and after the incident.
That's what they said.
So where were the other adults? And he was a volunteer coach. There had to be an assistant coach, refs. I mean, some other the parents. I'm finding it hard to believe no other adult stepped in and stopped the incident before it happened. So and for him to knock out the child, was this a small child, a 12-year-old? Is it no? And I do not agree that this is for his first time. I believe he has a history of being a bully. And again, this system failed to vet this person because he just got arrested a few weeks ago in Atlanta for all types of charges. So
Mm.
I don't understand. And then he's around children in a school system. We keep failing. We are just failing all the way around. That's such a shame. And what's to say that this child doesn't have lasting repercussions from this incident? Did he get a concussion? Did he just knock the wind out of him? I have a lot of questions, and it
Mm.
starts with the parent.
Yeah, you know, I'm now I'm thinking to myself, the parents could have probably been right there. I'm telling you, the amount of violence that they allow at these little leagues and in these sports is unbelievable. So they probably, until he got knocked out, was saying, "Oh, that's coach being coach." Julius, your thoughts?
It sounds like to me the coach has some anger issues and also outside factors from that separate arrest. But the parents should have been on the ball way before their child was knocked out. Like conversations should have been had and warnings should have been given. Yo, if you talk to my kid like that one more again, you and I, we gonna have us a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know here we encourage people to keep their hands to yourself, and I want to make that clear. However, there is a time and place and point to step in and redirect it so it could be adult to adult and let it be known.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of those moments. So the child's parents also failed him in not protecting him. That's it.
Mm, yeah. Um, someone has video. Yeah, someone has video. Listen, the man, listen, is he tried that? Is no doubt that the man put his hands on the kid, right? Because he said, "Oh, I was trying to teach him a play or whatever the case may be," but they knew it was a lie based upon all the evidence. So video is not our situation. You know what? I just really think they need to back this thing up and stop all of this subtle violence in sports to begin with. Just like you had the Mr. Man, what you call it, spit on the player the other day in the NFL. This is learned in the little leagues. I don't know if you had something to say, Katrina. Did you see the story? You want me to just move on to the next story?
Just move on to the next story, doll.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll into this next story, and this is the what do I have here? Oh yes, this is the sergeant that was busted doing some lewd stuff in the bathroom. So NYPD. Yes, you are right. Increase in matters, it will only get worse. Okay, let me share screen here. So NYPD sergeant caught in sick Penn Station bathroom esting, sources say. So an NYPD officer was found pleasuring himself with other men in a Penn Station bathroom last week, the Post has learned. Sergeant Michael Merritt was allegedly caught in the act during a September 3rd sting operation conducted by Amtrak Police Department inside the station. Police sources said the operation targeted a lewd known for lewd activity. Police sources said Merritt, 41, was placed on modified assignment the day he was busted and moved to Brooklyn Criminal Court. Police paperwork shows he was later suspended from the job, a police source added. It wasn't clear if any criminal charges was filed against him, and the Amtrak Police Department referred questions about the case to the NYPD. The incident is under internal review, an NYPD spokesperson said in a statement. When reached by phone, Merritt didn't answer any questions about his suspension or what happened at Penn Station. I'm not commenting right now. Have a good day, he said, before hanging up on a reporter. Merritt joined the force in July 2006, so he's been on the job for a long time. This is 2025, and made $134,000 in 2024. NYPD records show. So because you can't control your S activity, you are now suspended from your $100,000 plus a year job. Okay. And hold on one second. Let me add, in my opinion, you are now suspended from your 100-something a year job. Like, I don't understand how adults cannot control their sexual activities. Julius, your thoughts?
Time and place. That wasn't the place. Now, if you wanted to download some apps and bring it to like a hotel, that's different. But time and place, people. Time and place.
In my opinion, your thoughts?
Even ain't that they can't control it, they don't want to control it. That's the problem. I think we live in a world now that they advertise it every platform, every place you can. It's advertised, and a lot of this stuff was not advertised when we was coming up or when we was growing up. So a lot of this stuff wasn't happening. But now everywhere it's advertised, even on stuff that's supposed to be designated for children, it's advertised. And I'm like, why we keep advertising something that we don't need to happen anymore? We see what overexertion of this advertisement means. It means more victims. And I think this is sad, and this is where things need to change because we need to bring the internet back to being PG. We need to bring platforms back to PG, and we also need to bring kids apps back to PG.
Thank you. In my opinion, Savannah, your thoughts?
I apologize. David, did you say me or Katrina?
She
said you.
Oh, okay. I agree. In my opinion, I mean, this has gotten, even in our regular television shows, soap operas, everything now is about the shock value, and people do these things for clicks and views and likes, and that is how things are now becoming the norm and mainstream. Is what is in our algorithm, what is being shown repeatedly, and we have become numb and immune to some things that are of perverted sexual nature in some instances.
Mhm.
But it's viewed as this is, okay for performers to be dressing a certain way or performing with less and less attire on, and their videos are and their music is just vulgar, and uh, but this, it becomes the norm in what is portrayed on our news feeds, whether it's mainstream media or social media. People just now feel like they can do, if they have the urge to do it, whether it's to become intimate in public spaces or to act a fool and walk around with no clothes like Kanye and his wife. They feel that they can do it, and it's all about the shock value for me. What this culture is. Um, that's what they're into, and it's all about the clicks and views. Social media is, or the internet is, was the greatest invention, but also the worst invention as well,
Mhm.
because behind a keyboard, everyone and anyone, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are, how rich you are, how you can live in rural Kentucky or downtown Manhattan. You're powerful behind the keyboard because you hide behind words, filters, and now with AI involved, it's just going to get
Woo.
even worse. It is just going to be, you never know if you're talking to the right person, if that is the real true person online, and if you put pictures out there, they can download load them and manipulate them, or it's just a dangerous world that we live in, and people don't care. They know they're being recorded everywhere they go. Case in point, that lady in I think it was in the Philly stadium, that took the ball from the father that grabbed it for his child. And although the teams rewarded the family and the child, but now that lady has her she they just she's been bullied all week on social media for taking that ball from the child when she had no right to, but she felt like she did. And people know they're being recorded everywhere they go. There's cameras everywhere, and they just don't care.
Mm. Katrina, your thoughts?
These people are ridiculous. I mean, is anybody in NYPD clean? I'm just saying. Every time you turn around, something happened in NYPD,
Mm.
and like everybody is saying, Savannah, in my opinion, both this internet is the devil, basically, because it can control your mind, it can control your kids, and the people don't have to do like street walking anymore. They can do it behind a keyboard, and they can get POs or pros, as you call them. They don't have to go on the street anymore. They can
Mm.
do it online. You know what I'm saying? They can pick them up online.
Mhm.
That's what I think the new P is the internet. And you're right. Back in the day, women wouldn't even be dressed in scatty clothes. Look at Salt and Pepper, Patti LaBelle, them, and all them how they dressed. They was fully covered. They was basically they was in clothes. I mean, clothes like clothes we would wear to school. They wasn't all skimpy and all that type of stuff. These women had clothes on. Um, like I said, the internet, people can get on and manipulate. They can pretend like they're your family members. They can get your information. You don't even know how they got your information, but they can put your information in and say that, and then they will ask them, "Are you going to use this to hurt anybody?" Why are you giving my information out anyway? Anybody with a credit card can put somebody's name in and they can get the information off that person. Only way I would think that was legit, as long as it's a job opportunity or something like that. But for normal people, just regular people going on the internet, finding out people information, can find out where you live, can see anything. It will show, if you put your address in, it will show your cars in the yard, where you at, and all that. I don't think that's right. That's like invasion of privacy to me. But it goes because, like Savannah said, it's the norm, but it's not the norm. They give out too much people private information. I mean, it's ridiculous. And hopefully, I don't think it's ever going to change, because it's going to get worse. Because the more advanced they coming out, it's going to come out with something else. Like she just said, the AI. Look at the little babies that they have out there, which are cute, but they're AI. You know what I'm saying? So this is, the internet is a good thing, but it's also a curse, because so much stuff comes back from the internet that you wouldn't even think that was there. Things you got lost in your past, they can push it in. It's right there in your face. So one thing I can say is just be careful out there, y'all. Be careful of what you put out there. If you got information out that you don't want to have out there, go on the Experian app and have the app to take all your information off the internet. That's all I can tell you to do. But that's all I got, Diva.
Oh, this is it's just so incredibly sad. It's a lot going on, but I'm gonna lean in, Savannah, on this idea of, now it's just people are even wearing anything. I remember the day when Jennifer Lopez, I forgot, was it the Grammys or whatever award show it was, when she went to Puffy with the award show, at the award show, and that green dress that was barely there.
VMAs.
Thank you. It was barely there. And it seemed
But
like,
you talking about the Versace dress? The
yeah.
Versace? Okay.
But ever since then, I mean, the people have been they just been trying to just outdo that moment in my mind, because now they go through stuff is see-through. It just doesn't make any sense. Why do you need to go to any event except your bedroom with some see-through stuff on? It's just insane. The world is overexposed, and we wonder why all of this is going on in the world so openly now. The drug addicts in New York, in Harlem, they are literally broad daylight just having sex in the streets. And you're trying to raise a family, and your family is subjected to this, and got to pass by this, and you got to explain to a little kid what the heck is going over there, or on over there with two people. It's just it's something. The world is going to trash, is all I can say. Since we got time, I'm gonna roll into this last story again, involving the NYPD, who's supposed to serve and protect. Let me share screen. So New York City homeless, let me pause this. New York City Homeless Services officer claims boss arred her, threatened her with a pow-pow. So a captain for the Department of Homeless Services allegedly arred an underling while she was drunk, demanded weekly favors, and even threatened her at pow-pow point, the accuser claimed in a lawsuit. DHS officer Marsha accused her boss, Captain Miguel Martinez, of getting her drunk at a meal in late 2022. Not long after she began working with him at the DHS offices on Randall's Island, she claimed a Manhattan federal court lawsuit against the city, Martinez and others. He banged his fist on the table and ordered her to drink multiple alcoholic beverages, she alleged in court documents. He ordered her to keep drinking until she felt sick. And this is the sicko. After making her pay the bill, Martinez, 50, drove her to her apartment in her car since she was too drunk and too sick to drive, and allegedly arred her in the back seat of the car, ripping her pants and underwear in the process, she alleged in court documents. After zipping up his pants, Martinez took her phone, held it to her face, and demanded that she order an Uber for him. It is alleged in the lawsuit. She later made a police report at her local precinct on December 7, 2022. She said in the filing, an NYPD spokesperson said the department had no record of that report. DHS officers patrol NYC homeless shelters and facilities and receive training at New York NYPD's Police Academy. They're armed but with limited peace officer powers. They can detain but not arrest suspects. After the alleged R, Martinez insisted she 47 have relations with him once a week in his Bronx home and even pulled a pow pow on her, the suit claims. On her first visit to his home, he pulled a pow pow on her and told her to be careful so he would not get upset, according to the lawsuit. Martinez allegedly coerced her to comply with his demands, based on, hold on one second, guys. Okay. Based not only as her commanding officer, but also as the one who, as he often reminded her, was the person who would decide whether and when her probationary period would end, so she could become a full-fledged police officer, she claimed in a lawsuit. She is seeking unspecified damages. Martinez was terminated in February 2024, according to a DHS spokesperson who declined to comment on the litigation. Whenever we learn of any such allegations, the agency acts with urgency, working closely with the investigating authorities to ensure that we are thoroughly verifying the facts and taking prompt action when warranted, the spokesperson explained. The city law department declined comment. Martinez could not be reached for a comment. Unbelievable and disgusting. Julius, your thoughts?
He's gross.
Mm.
Gross. The article explicitly said that he deliberately encouraged her to drink and drink and drink until she was basically alleviated, if that's correct.
Mm-hmm.
Or a little bit of a stretch, but I know I'm in the right ballpark there. And he drove her back to her place in her car. And I have to say it this way because all indicators point to it, and had his own way with her. He is gross. He is a parasite. And those are all the words spiritually that I can say, but there are other ones in my spirit that the Lord is like, no, say these ones because it's appropriate to say on live. And I hope he gets his karma big time. I truly do. That's it.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So I'm wondering what happened to her police report because it don't just walk away. So
That
either
part.
you knew somebody that was in that office that made that thing go away. It's some fishy stuff going on around here. I want to know what happened to that, and I want somebody that's in charge to tell me what happened to that because that just don't disappear, and you ain't gonna make me believe that. I don't care what you say about you couldn't find it. Now you need to find out why you couldn't find it. I don't like the way the story is turning out. I really don't. It feels like this one of them stories where she ain't gonna get no justice. She ain't gonna get no peace. He gonna get off, just like they always do. I'm telling you, these men with this power and they get power hungry. And they feel like they can do anything to anybody. And that's what I don't like.
Thank you, in my opinion. Savannah, your thoughts?
Well, with Mayor Adams as their mayor still and in charge, what can you expect with him getting, um, away with what he was charged with? This is just another scandal that is enveloping the New York Police Department. I'm not surprised. I agree he's going to get off, if maybe a slap on the wrist. But I'm side eyeing the female police officer. We need to start taking accountability for our decisions. No one can really force you to drink over excessively if you don't want to. I'm sorry. Unless he physically held her by the neck and forced it down her throat, you can say no and leave and call an Uber if you need a ride. At some point during that night, you felt that you weren't safe, you were in danger, and you should have got out of that situation. So
Mm.
I'm kind of side eyeing the woman. Not that she didn't deserve anything that happened, absolutely not. But we do have to start taking accountability for our decisions and the things that we do, and in the situations that we put ourselves in. And she knew who he was before she went wherever they met up, and he allegedly made her drink excessively, and so she knew who he was. He just didn't become this person in this incident. He has been probably a menace. He has probably um, did other civilians or other female cops been an aggressor to them, and I'm side eyeing her. I'm sorry, and I'm usually on the side of the woman, a champion for women. For women, and especially this is the outcome, and they're put in these situations. But at some time, and especially with all the scandals for the past, what, year and a half, 2 years that we've been talking about everything that's been going on, from the man who had the lieutenant and another one, and the chief of police who had like a harem of women that got 160 hours of overtime, and they know exactly who who is wearing those uniforms, who are dirty cops, who have girlfriends and babies by girlfriends running around the city. So I'm not, mm, while I sympathize with her for what happened, I
Mm.
can't empathize with her because she put herself in this situation, and she should have known to get out. So I'm sorry, and I hope she does get some justice for what happened, but make better choices.
Ooh, ooh. Well, there you have it. So, Katrina, did you comment on this story?
No, Diva. Me myself personally, I'm with you, Savannah. But then again, you know what? I can drink whatever I want to drink, and nobody still have the right to violate me. Then you made her pay for the bill. Now that's what I would have thought the time right there. I'm like, if you telling me to drink this, and you paying this on you. I'm not gonna pay something that you making me drink. You making me drink this, and then I got to pay for it too. So he didn't want anything to come back to him. He didn't want to say that he used his credit card so he can be free because he knew exactly what he was planning on doing. Then he made her call the Uber. He knew exactly what he was doing. And you're right, Savannah. She did put herself in that situation. But still, you still have no right to violate me. And like I said, he was stacking his cars up because he knew that it was going to come back on him. He made sure that he did exactly what he needed to do so nothing would fall back on him, like having her pay, then having her use her phone to call the Uber. And then he have the pow at her head. I mean, like, I don't know if she was stressed or what's up when she started drinking with him and then realized he was going to end up doing something like this. But, and in my opinion, say, wonder what happened to the police report. Child, you know they know how to make things go away. This hand, wash that hand. That's New York. I mean, golly, New York ain't no joke. I'll never want to get hemmed up in New York. These them men, them police officers. I mean, they got like that everywhere, but every story we really hearing is from New York. Them men are some monsters. And like I said, I don't think that you got to be aware of what position you put yourself in. But nobody still have the right to violate your body, whether you sober, drunk, or whatsoever. You still have no right. And plus, if you're not sober, you're not giving consent anyway. You can't get consent if you're not sober. So therefore, obviously, he did R her. So he need to be caught and hung up and thrown out this thing, and she need to make better choices, as Savannah said, and watch your surroundings and watch who you hanging out with. Because them police is out there, it seems like they'll have somebody taking you out. But that's all I got.
Yeah, even if I would have made some bad decisions, I did do all the drinks that night. He drove me home. He did what he did to me. But when he would have said, come with the weekly favors, that would have been a definite hell to the no. So I just feel like it's sad that we end up in these situations in this day and age when you got cell phones, you got everything. Now, I'm not good with electronics at all, but most people are. Catch them saying these things to you so you can have it recorded. It's just very sad about what's going on at DVAC Cast Savannah. Hey, I had my first family reunion with my biological family today. Thank y'all for always encouraging me to keep and keeping me in your prayers. Oh my God, I'm 48. Congratulations. I'm super excited for you. And we love you. And listen, all the people that constantly, because it's the regulars that be in the chat with me 99.9% of the time. I truly do appreciate all of y'all because you can do whatever you want with your time. But when I do these trending topics, y'all always, support me. A lot of y'all always support me too by watching the recap. I appreciate y'all. We're all like a little family here. So much love. I'm so happy for you, 48. Family is important, and just staying connected to people is important also. So thank y'all so much for always being so supportive, not just of me, but of the panel, and also of like, because y'all know each other in the chat, and I just feel it's a good thing. Before I close out, let me give an update about this. What's her name? Rebecca. Her last name is slipping my mind right now, but we did her on trending
Meal.
topic. That
Meal.
Meeks, right. Let me do a little update about that. That story is very convoluted. It's layered. It has a lot of pieces to it. Apparently, Remeka, she had another last name. Apparently, the family, her side, including her, they had a lot of restraining orders against them, and apparently they like to put their hands on the people. That has nothing to do with should she have been on the live, no, but it could explain perhaps why this woman that took her life or is being accused of taking her life, why they let her and released her out of the jail. There are so many stories flying back and forth about this situation, and it is sad all the way around. And the saddest part is when toxic people bring children into the situation. If you want to run around in this world and be toxic, but don't procreate and have offspring, and they don't have no fighting chance to live or have a decent life because their parent or parents are just straight ratchet. So I don't know how true it is, and y'all know me, I really like to wait until I get some type of evidence via an article or whatever. But I've been looking things up because I'm just like, it just don't make no sense to me that they know somebody pow this girl, and they know who it is, and they release the person. Now I'm going to stay connected to the story, but I just wanted to just share with y'all that there's a lot of stuff flying around, and all the stuff that's flying around is not good. This is just a sad situation because we got a little boy who no longer knows is going to be, I'm not knows, is going to no longer have his mother, going to have to be raised by Nana. It's just very sad. The violence is out of control in this world. The sex is out of control in this world. It's just too much. And my last thing before I close out is this Charles Kirk. Now, y'all know I keep things as neutral as possible over here, and I'm never going to celebrate someone losing their life, no matter who it is. But his wife spoke out. And if you haven't seen it, and if you're interested, I would encourage you to go look. I'm not even going to play it here. But I got to say this. The wife is polarizing. And I don't know, when people I'm close to pass, The last thing I can get up and do it a couple days or 24 hours later or 15 hours later, and I know I ain't in the limelight like that, is get up and give y'all a whole speech with a whole lot of hate in it. Yes, she did, Savannah. I was shocked. I was in complete and utter shock. But this world, it seemed like it's going to hell in a handbag. I hate to say it. We got a lot of work to do. I think, at least, even maybe before my time, there was so many people still advocating for peace, happiness, love, and all of that. It seems like we don't got nothing but hate, and some more hate being spilled out in this world today. It's extremely sad. I don't know exactly how we're going to bring this thing back around, but the state that the world is in today is just not good at all. It's just extremely sad. And I want also that to say that I just feel like the pow should not be accessible to everybody. It's just too much going on right now. Talking about world prayer, we need to get back to world prayer. We need to get back to a whole lot of things, because what's going on right now is just too much hate. I'm about to close out. I know, Wayne, you kind of popped in later. Did you want to say anything?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Felicia, I know you popped in later. Anything before I close out?
No, I'm good.
All right, sounds good. Listen, y'all, it's Saturday night. I appreciate y'all. Came on a little earlier, right? If y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. 48, much love, girlfriend. You're like my daughter I never had. I really do. I don't know why. I just connected to you, and I'm so glad that you had the opportunity to just mend relationships in your life. Everybody, be kind, love one another, enjoy your life, have fun. Sandy's Chance, nice to see you. Nice to see everybody. Listen, good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.
Choo